Sometimes when dragging things with your mouse or trackball, it's not convenient to have to keep holding the mouse button for the entire duration of the dragging motion. In the old days, some trackballs used to have a button that addressed this problem. When you clicked it once, the button stayed logically pressed until you clicked it again. You didn't have to hold it the entire time. It was click once to hold and click again to release. The functionality was called drag lock or click lock. Let me show you how you can add something like that to any mouse or trackball using HID Remapper. HID Remapper is a universal adapter for USB input devices. It can reassign button functions on a mouse, change keyboard layouts, and a lot of other cool things. Because it's a physical adapter that works entirely in hardware, it works with any computer on any operating system. Instead of plugging your mouse directly into your computer, you plug it into HID Remapper and plug that into your computer. By default, everything will just work the same, but you can configure it to alter the behavior of the mouse. For example, you can add the drag lock functionality to one of its buttons. Let's do that right now. Let's say we have this trackball and we would like this to be the left mouse button, this to be the right mouse button, and this to be the left mouse button but with drag lock, meaning that when I click it once, the left button will be held until I click it again. This is the configuration interface for HID Remapper. It's a website that you open in your browser. You don't have to install any software on your computer. First, let's see what functions the buttons on this trackball have by default. As a reminder, the trackball is now connected to my computer not directly, but through HID Remapper. Let's connect to our HID Remapper. Open device, select our device, connect. Let's go to the Monitor tab. The Monitor tab is useful when you have a device and you want to verify what inputs it's sending. Sometimes it's not obvious. In this case, the ball and the scroll wheel pretty much work as expected, so we can just check the buttons. Let's press each button. Okay. We can see that this button and this button already do what we want them to do, left and right button respectively. The button that we want to use for drag lock currently works as middle button. Let's remap it so that it is the left button, but working as a toggle. Back to the Mappings tab. The way the mappings work is that whenever HID Remapper sees the button or whatever type of input is set on the input side, it will translate it to whatever is set on the output side. So when we click some button on our mouse or trackball, the computer will instead see the thing that we set here. We want this button to work as the left mouse button. We know it currently works as the middle button. Let's set the input on the mapping to the middle button. Then let's click this and set the output to the left mouse button. If we left it like this, the top left button on the trackball would just function as a regular left mouse button, which is sometimes useful by itself, but we also want the drag lock functionality. In HID Remapper, this is called sticky. It's a flag that can be enabled on every mapping. It's here. Let's tick this checkbox. That's all it takes. Let's save this configuration to our HID Remapper, save to device, and let's test it. Click the top left button. As you can see, I don't have to keep holding the button to drag the window. Click it again. And now it's released. Great! This is how you can add drag lock to any mouse on any computer and operating system. Let me show you one more thing really quickly. Let's say you don't want to dedicate a button to the drag lock functionality exclusively. Maybe your trackball only has 2 buttons, or maybe you have some other ideas what to do with those other buttons. It would be nice if the same button that we are normally using as the left button had the toggle behavior or the drag lock behavior when it's pressed while another button is held. Let's make it so that when we're holding the right button and click the left button, it engages drag lock. Of course, we still want the right button to just work as the right button when clicked. For this, we can use the tap hold feature in HID Remapper, together with layers. The tap hold feature allows you to assign two different functions to a button, one when it's clicked and released quickly, and another when it's held down. First, let's make it so that the right button just works as the right button when clicked. For this, we'll make a mapping with the right button as the input and also as the output, but enable the tap flag on that mapping. Second, let's make it so that holding the right button activates layer 1. Layers are another way of assigning multiple functions to buttons. At any given point, one or more layers are active. If no layer has been explicitly activated, layer 0 is active. We'll make it so that the left button works normally on layer 0 and has the drag lock behavior on layer 1. Let's make the right button activate layer 1 when held. This is what such a mapping would look like. And let's make the left button have drag lock on layer 1. And that's all it takes. The first mapping makes the right button work normally when clicked, not held. The second mapping makes the right button activate layer 1 when held. And the third mapping makes the left button have the drag lock behavior on layer 1. In other words, when the right button is held. The left button will just work normally on layer 0. We don't have to make explicit mappings for that in this scenario. Let's save this configuration to our HID Remapper and see if it works. Save to device. Okay. Let's see that the right button works normally when just clicked. The left button works normally as well. But when I hold the right button and then click the left button, it remains pressed, even though I'm not holding any buttons. I can drag whatever it is that I need to drag. And when I'm done, I hold the right button again and click the left button to end drag lock. Okay, I hope this is useful. There's a lot more that you can do with HID Remapper. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching.